Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from, and especially to all of you passionate Toronto Maple Leafs fans out there. Today, we bring you a truly compelling and potentially game-changing report that has been gaining traction around the NHL, an emerging report that the Toronto Maple Leafs are closely monitoring Mika Ziban of the New York Rangers as a potential trade target. According to his sources, the Toronto Maple Leafs have expressed interest in acquiring New York Ranger forward Mika and Ryan Reeves to complement the offensive firepower of Austin Matthews and William Nylander. Well, the answer lies in a confluence of factors. First, the Rangers are at a crossroads. Despite having a stacked roster, they've fallen short of their ultimate goal, leaving management with tough decisions. Players like Easton Cowan or Fraser Minton, the Leafs' highly touted prospects, could be on the move, along with other assets. Trading for Zibanejad shouldn't disrupt the core of the team, and that core most certainly includes Marner. Sure, you could argue that Marner could thrive in a different system, in a different environment. They've demonstrated a keen understanding of the team's needs, their willingness to embrace change, and their strategic vision for the future. The addition of Zibanejad would send shockwaves throughout the league, signaling the Leafs' unwavering commitment to winning. He's not just an offensive dynamo. He's a player who understands the importance of both ends of the ice. He's more than just a player. He's a leader, a philanthropist, and a symbol of the city's passion for hockey. The thought of moving on from him is emotionally taxing. But in the cold, hard world of professional sports, decisions need to be made for the greater good of the team. If Tavares departs via free agency or a trade, it wouldn't be a reflection of his contributions, but rather a strategic maneuver to secure the team's long-term success. His acquisition would not only boost the Leafs' chances in the regular season, but also elevate their playoff performance. The window for championship contention is open, and the Leafs need to seize the opportunity. The status quo isn't working. The familiar faces can't be relied upon to deliver the ultimate prize. Let's have that conversation in the comment section below. Your voices matter. Your opinions shape the narrative, and together we'll navigate this thrilling chapter in Toronto Maple Leafs history. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow Leafs fans, and subscribe for more updates. Thank you for being a part of our community. Until next time, keep the blue and white proudly displayed and let us cheer on our boys in blue and orange as they strive for greatness. Go Leafs, go. Change is not just necessary, it's essential. The potential trade for Mika Zibanejad embodies this philosophy. It signifies the Leafs' readiness to break away from mediocrity, to discard the baggage of the past, and to sprint towards the Stanley Cup. It's a bold, audacious plan that could redefine the legacy of this team and rekindle the passion of a city starved for hockey glory. Remember those agonizing overtime losses in the first two rounds. As the trade deadline approaches, all eyes will be on Toronto. Will they dare to dream big? Will they go all in for Zion? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the journey ahead will be filled with challenges, triumphs, and memories that will be etched in hockey lore forever. Zibanejad's experience, his composure under pressure, and his clutch gene would be invaluable in those high-stakes moments. It would be a bold statement that resonates beyond the ice, sending a message to the rest of the league that the Leafs aren't just participating in the race for the Stanley Cup, they're sprinting towards it. But the risk of destabilizing the entire team's dynamic is a gamble the Leafs simply cannot afford to take. Picture this: Austin Matthews and Zibanejad anchoring the top two lines, each capable of carrying the offensive load on any given night. It would be a luxury for Coach Keefe, providing him with tactical flexibility to exploit opposing defenses. And let's not forget about special teams. Zibanejad's lethal shot and playmaking abilities would give the Leafs a new dimension on the power play. Their opponents would need to be constantly wary of not just Matthews' rocket of a shot, but now also Zibanejad's uncanny ability to thread the needle with pinpoint precision. Instead, a more prudent approach would be to explore creative ways to integrate Zibanejad into the existing roster. Imagine a scenario where the Leafs successfully acquire Zibanejad and infuse their lineup with a new dynamic, a new energy that propels them deeper into the playoffs. But then they turn around and trade Marner, losing one of their most integral players. The balance, the chemistry, and the momentum could be compromised. Now, you might be thinking, what about Mitch Marner? Could he be part of this deal? Well, according to some rumors, Marner's name has indeed floated around in hypothetical trades, but a straight-up swap for Zibanejad seems highly unlikely. Second, contracts. The Rangers have several big-money players tied up in long-term deals, and let's face it, the salary cap isn't infinite. And third, a potential opportunity to reshape the team. If the right deal comes along, the Rangers might opt to pivot, especially if it benefits them in the long run. But there's been a nagging inconsistency in their performance, a hesitation that's kept them from reaching the promised land of the Stanley Cup. If John Tavares doesn't re-sign with the team on more favorable contract terms, or if his performance dips in his final year under his current deal, the Leafs will need a top-tier center to fill his shoes. Inter Zibanejad. It's a match made in hockey heaven. The Leafs have the assets, the prospect pool, and the cap space to make a deal happen. But it wouldn't be cheap. Acquiring Zibanejad would likely involve a hefty price tag. So let's talk numbers. What would a potential trade look like? Enter Mika Zibanejad, a top-tier center who's been tearing it up in the NHL for over a decade. With stints at both the Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers, Zibanejad brings with him a resume that speaks for itself. Multiple 30-goal seasons, a lethal shot, and a playmaking ability that unlocks any offense. And this isn't just a rumor that's blown over from a hot stove. No. This is a persistent whisper that's gaining traction in hockey circles. Whitney shared that he's heard about this potential deal from not one or two, but multiple reliable individuals within the NHL ecosystem. Now, before we dive into the heart of this potential trade, let us set the stage by exploring why Mika Zibanejad could be a game changer for the Maple Leafs. And this isn't just a casual interest. This is the kind of calculated move that could redefine the direction of the Leafs for the next several years, especially in light of the uncertainty surrounding John Tavares' future with the team. So let's break this down. On a recent episode of the popular Spit and Chicklets podcast, co-host Ryan Whitney revealed some intriguing details about a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the NHL. Over the past couple of seasons, the Leafs have been meticulously crafting their roster, bringing in fresh faces like Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi. Now, you might be wondering, why would the Rangers even consider trading a player like Zibanejad? Enter the Leafs, a team hungry for success, desperate to rewrite their history of near misses and early exits from the playoffs. According to early speculations, the Leafs would need to cough up some serious value, including a first-round pick, a top prospect, and perhaps a roster player. Here's the thing, though, the Leafs need to be cautious. Let's be clear, Mitch Marner isn't just a player, He's an offensive catalyst who orchestrates the Leafs' attack. If the Leafs do pull off this blockbuster trade, their front office deserves a standing ovation. But let's shift our focus to the on-ice dynamics. How would Zibanejad's presence transform the Leafs? In the defensive zone, Zibanejad's responsible play and strong positioning would be a welcome addition. But as with any major move, there are challenges. John Tavares is an iconic figure in Toronto. The Leafs find themselves at a pivotal moment in their history. Much like the legendary teams of the past, it's not just about winning games. It's about conquering the hearts and minds of a passionate fan base. So, Leafs fans, what do you think? Are you all in on the Zibanejad trade? Or do you think the Leafs should stand pat?